Hey everybody, what a happy day it is. We surpassed 50,000 subscribers earlier this week, and I wanted to wait until the weekend because I had over 100 or so questions asked, and I knew it was going to be a long video, so I wanted to wait until I had a little bit more free time. In case you're wondering how the next cinematic is going, that's going very well. Here you have a little bit of a sneak peek.
Обязательно найдем, кого прикончить.
So I hope you liked what you saw, and that will be uploaded somewhere within the next 2 days, and after that I'm going to concentrate on Star Wars Factions again, mostly also because in February I have some movie shoots for work, which means I'm going to be quite busy, and because of that I kind of want to focus on the series that are the most popular, and which is Star Wars Factions by far. Especially in the last few days, for some reason my channel had a spike in views and subscribers, which was great. Yeah, the latest episode got real good views, several thousands per day, and it's up to like 46,000 or something at the moment. So I want to continue that storyline very soon. Anyway, like I said, it's going to be a long video. I'm going through the questions now, so grab a Coke, grab some snacks as we go to the questions. Now, of course, YouTube's thing, it might sometimes be a little buggy, so sometimes it doesn't load all of the comments. I have my phone here, which I'm going to use for the questions. If, for some reason, I did not answer your question, please accept my apology in that it probably did not pop up, or I might have skipped it if I was a little bit too hasty. And if it was not answered, you can ask again, and I'll answer directly in the thing. So, okay. So, the first question that's at the top is, do you watch porn? And if you do, what type? Big tits. Next question. When are you going to do a face reveal? Oh wait, hold on. Actually, the porn question came from The Legend 27. The next question from Gamertag14 is, when are you going to do a face reveal? I've had multiple questions like this, and for those wondering, I have done several videos where I actually reveal my face for the last few years. There's a few where I did some specials with some girls I dated before. When I do a horror game, there is always, or almost always, a face cam, so you can look at any of my horror games and you can see what I look like. The thing is that horror games on my channel are not popular at all, which is a shame because I love horror games. I'm playing Resident Evil 7 now as well on my Let's Play channel. You can check that out. I have a face cam there too. When I do the E3 specials, I have my face revealed, and of course, and somebody also mentioned that in the comments already, my Rogue One review or Star Wars Episode 7 review, you can see my face. Itachi Kawaii says, where are you from? I am originally from Holland. I was born in Amsterdam and I lived in Holland until I was 21, and then I moved to Tokyo, Japan to study Japanese first and then study film, and now I'm in my senior year studying film. I'm studying, in case anyone is interested in Japan, I'm studying at Temple University, which is a American-based university. The main campus is in Philadelphia, so if you are interested in Japan and you want to study here, you might want to look into studying at Temple University and see if you can get a scholarship to Tokyo for like a year or something. Then Monkey Game says, are you going to continue zombie survival cinematics? Yes, though of course it doesn't actually say which one you mean. I assume you mean Arma. I do have to say that Arma does not get the views I was hoping that it would get. I'm getting a lot of comments saying like, oh my god, I miss your Epic Arma. When is Epic Arma again? I gave them some Epic Arma, but I guess they want more realistic type scenarios, right? They want war type scenarios, not necessarily survival. And actually, I've been getting so many comments saying like, I miss your Epic Arma, that even though my channel is not Let's Play oriented that much, to just make the Epic Arma in the old style, because it's much easier to make than some of the cinematics, and so I can pump those out, in between the cinematics when people are waiting. Then we have Griffin McKinney. It says, why did you start YouTube? So this is interesting. So I started YouTube in 2011, but I wanted to start it earlier. Actually, I did already have a different YouTube channel back in 2006 even. And I just made like music videos. I took video footage, or I literally, back in the day, we didn't have fraps and that sort of thing. So I put my camera in front of the TV and would record like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings and stuff, and would make music videos from it. It all got copyright flagged at a certain point, but doing video games with YouTube my interest started around maybe 2009, because I was watching a guy called Stormsync, and I don't know, it's not a very nice guy. He complains a lot, but I thought, and this might sound pretty arrogant, but Yogscast admitted that they were kind of the same. Like, they saw a similar type of video that they thought they could do better. Like, Stormsync, I don't know, he was doing like a review or something, and I thought I can do that better. However, I did not want to do it alone. I thought I liked the how do you say, the definition of having a review channel where you have two people or maybe three people having a discussion about a game, instead of somebody, like a single person, talking all the time. So I actually discussed it with a friend back in Holland, and we even got so far to make an intro and like a logo. It was going to be Game R, where it's like gamer but then Game R, but it never saw the light of day. My friend moved to Amsterdam. Even though I was born in Amsterdam, I lived there until I was 3, then moved, and so we didn't really see each other that much anymore. So that never took off. And then somewhere in 2011 or maybe 2010, then I first got to know about Let's Plays, and I was interested in playing that too, probably a few months before heading to Japan, but I wanted to wait until I was in Japan because of all of the logistics that were, of course, there with moving to Japan. Also, my PC was not very good back in Holland, and the laptop that I had was actually pretty decent for the time when I took it. And I started YouTube or Let's Plays because I wanted to become big with that. You have a lot of YouTubers today, popular YouTubers, that say, for example, like they've never thought about having YouTube being such a big thing for them. And for some of those people, I find that kind of annoying. One of the people, for example, I don't want to bitch because, like, again, he's a good guy and he gives a lot of money to charity, so he's a very good guy. But Markiplier sometimes says, like, when I started YouTube, I never thought, like, this could be something like big, or I never, I saw it as a hobby. But when you actually look at his subscriber specials back in the early days, he actually says, like, I'm gonna give away something, and you need to share it with like 3 or 4 people. You need to show me evidence that you shared it. So it was very clear that he tried to push people to make his channel bigger. And I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that you want your channel to be big. You want to be watched. There is a certain type of like arrogance where you think, okay, I make content that is worth watching. I don't have the most soothing type of voice. My voice is pretty loud, pretty high pitched as well. But all in all, I do think that some of the content that I make is pretty good in terms of Let's Plays as well, especially horror. Again, it's not very popular, but I take my time, I soak up the environment, and I think it's really good as a source of watching a horror game if you rather do that than play it by yourself. Then we have RBM 316. How long do you plan your Star Wars Faction series, and do you plan any outer big series like it? I had multiple questions like this. This is probably the most asked question out of all of them, is how long do I plan my Star Wars Faction series to go on to? So, for a long time, I can tell you that much. I do have an ending in planned, and also several big events that will take place. And And in between, I don't want to like what I do like is I like smaller scale videos, and then a huge event happens. That's kind of how they do series, right? And I will do a like behind the scenes kind of thing just for Star Wars Factions someday. I thought about doing it after episode 20 because, spoilers, episode 20 is actually going to be a pretty big episode in what's going to happen there. But yeah, no, definitely for a long while, one has also to realize that I have the developers version of the game, which means I get regular updates with new units. That's why I, for example, have the Beach Troopers, the Shore Troopers, Jyn Erso, that sort of thing. So that also, of course, means new creative content out there. And what usually happens is I have these plot lines in the story planned. And what happens in between is usually more spontaneous in that, okay, I want this and this and this at least to happen before we go to this plot point. Otherwise, it would seem too much like too choppy in terms of movements. So, yeah, if you're afraid of Star Wars Factions ending anytime soon, do not worry. And also, do you plan any other big series like it? Yeah, so I would love to. The thing is that, again, YouTube is not my main job. I don't think I have enough time to do a big main series with Star Wars Factions and something else. For example, the Riders of the Apocalypse, or the Apocalypse that I have, is like a mini series where it's like going to be about 10-ish or so episodes. Those type of series I can do. Maybe a World War II type of scenarios where it's like 2 or 3 episodes. That's what I'm gonna do. What I would love to do is a Halo one. I need a little bit more content for that though. Content is very, very important to make a story worthwhile. It's the same with, for example, Star Wars Factions, where the Old Republic actually does not have that many units in it, which is why actually I don't use that faction a whole lot. But a Halo one is something I was thinking about doing. There's actually a Halo mod coming out for Man of War as well, so I'm not too sure if I'm going to do like a Halo series ever in Man of War or Arma. The one in Arma is very good. Then Derpy Dank Pancake says, "What's your favorite song?" That might be Hell Song by Sum 41, but I was like 14 or something when I liked that, so I actually don't listen to it anymore that much. I don't know what my favorite song is. Like, I used to listen a lot to like Blink-182, Sum 41, but again, like I said, that was mostly like high school period. And recently, I listened to some EDM, I listened to some rock, some pop. So it's kind of difficult. But yeah, no, that's gonna be my answer. Hell Song. It's kind of a classic. And then the 17 KYD. Will you play X3 Star Wars mod again? People, yes. Okay, so I've been getting this question a lot as well. People really want me to play Albion Prelude again. It was one of the popular series, and I ended it because that game. So that game, it's a curse and a blessing. There's so much work being done by the developer, and it has so many updates. But the updates will corrupt your save file, meaning that you have to start all the way over again. Now, the last time that I played it was, I believe, version 0.4 or 0.5, and they're up to 0.9 by this time. So a lot has happened. There are some Rogue One ships. There are Episode 7 ships. There are the Mandalorians. So yeah, we definitely need to get on that again. It is very long, though, and I would like to do it unedited. I will probably make the episodes a bit longer than 20 minutes, because if it's only 20 minutes, really not a whole lot will happen, but I'm thinking maybe half an hour or something, and maybe even streaming. But actually, for streaming, I have something that you might like even better. But there's a streaming question in here as well, so I will talk about that then. Then Sir Boscott, how do you make your Man of War cinematic videos? I make them in the editor. And, I need to make all the battles from scratch, sometimes even manipulate the map, which takes even more time. And then I play the battles multiple times and zoom the camera in so far that I get my shots. So again, it is very, very time consuming because, like I said, I don't do the battles once. I do them usually, I don't know, about 8 or 9 times because especially if there's like different angles you need to focus on. First of all, if you have like two different factions fighting, I first need to do a battle focusing on one faction, then the other, and it's even to the point where it's like, okay, is there armor involved? Okay, then I need to do the battle again and focus on the armor. You know. So next is okay, that's not a question. Shadow Reaper 428. Will you be doing a Doom 2016 Let's Play anytime soon? Yeah, this was requested earlier as well. Maybe it was actually by you to do a Doom Let's Play. I think it might also be cool for a stream. But definitely on the next time it goes on sale, I'll buy it and I'll do a live or a Let's Play on it. Joseph Ciliano, what country do you live in? Oh wait, he already says never mind because it's in the description. Intelligent Owl, will you ever play Gmod Star Wars role-playing? I don't know what that is. Actually, well, I say I don't know what that is. I did see a video once. I don't know. I have so little experience in Gmod. It is kind of sad because I know that you can actually make some pretty cool stuff. It has been requested after Epic Arma because you can make some pretty epic scenarios apparently in Gmod as well, where you can have all these like AI characters or creatures fight each other. It might be worthwhile looking into it if there's some interest. But again, I have zero experience with it. Though what I did like back in the day is watch the Yogscast build like spaceships or race cars within Garry's Mod. Where are we? Okay, so yeah, again, Mary Trotman, do your X Star Wars 3 series again. Again, very popular. I need to get on that, people. Actually, hold on. So what I'm also going to do, and don't worry, I'm going to do Star Wars 1, so don't be panicked that I'm going to do this in front, but I'm also going to do X Rebirth, which is the latest game in the X series. It is considered as one of the lesser ones, though, because it's not as open as the previous games, though the expansions apparently made a lot good. But to be honest, I'm looking forward to Star Citizen so much, but they're so slow. It's insane. And I'm not annoyed, but I think they should stop saying like this comes out this month or before this when they don't reach it. Like I think, like, you know, they had 3.0 planned before 2017 would start. They didn't make that. And then they said, or I read somewhere, like 3.0 will be in March, but in February 17th or something, they're doing 2.6.1, and then there's going to be 2.6.2, so that's also not going to work. So they're so slow that I need my Star Citizen fix. And even though X Rebirth does not look as polished or as grand as Star Citizen, you know, you can fly ships around, and you can dock and walk over space stations and, you know, have space battles and shit, so that's going to be kind of my go-to until Star Citizen's there. So yeah, again, Vendor77, how long is the Star Wars Faction series going to last? A while. William Lydon, why happened to TIE Riots? So TIE Riots, he missed the third video. Epic or Arma has this weird algorithm in the game where if one of the mod files is missing, you cannot load the entire map. And though I do like the Steam Workshop function a lot, it is very easy where you just push the subscribe button and it puts the mod in the correct folder automatically. The annoying thing is that the creator, as is his right, has the ability to modify the files as he wishes, and it will update the mod automatically. And it modified a file, and literally there was one single file that it couldn't load, and it could not load the whole map, and it was so annoying, and I didn't want to do the whole like thing again, and then have Arma tell me again, because I had this problem before, and I don't have that problem if I manually download it from Armaholic and then put it in the correct folder. So that was a little bit disheartening. So that's why I did that with the zombie one as well. And actually the problem is, so I had that with the zombie one as well, but the difference is it actually gives you the name of the author or the name of the mod, which is missing. So if you're in luck, you can actually re-download an older version on Armaholic of the same mod with the same name, but it said here that the author was unknown, so I also did not know what mod file was missing. It could not tell me. Let's see. Woolly best. What the fuck? Wooliest Boro. Cool name. When will you be playing with other YouTubers like Shermanator or Baron? I don't know. I don't know both of them. That's not true, actually. I've seen the Shermanator movie. I think he's Dutch, too. But, no, I mean, come on. They are very big, and they do YouTube for a living, so I think I'm not in their league at all. Though, what I would like sometime is actually play with YouTubers who are bigger than I am, because, during the 5 years that I've been doing YouTube, all I've been doing is collaborate with people that have smaller channels than I have, and never with channels that are bigger than mine. So it would definitely be cool to do a collaboration with one of them. I will definitely be open for that. Okay, Imperatus, what is your favorite series on your channel? Okay, this is interesting. So I think when one would look at what is a good series to watch, it would be, and it depends on what you kind of like. I still like the unedited version of Let's Plays. Let's Plays these days are very much edited. A good example is Uber Hexer Nova, which I'm a big fan of. I love what he's doing, and I also love the quality that his Let's Play content has now. Whereas as PewDiePie, and I'm willing to admit that I'm not ashamed that I was a PewDiePie fan back like 4 years ago or something, when he was still playing on his room, playing horror Let's Plays, and actually focusing on the game itself. Whereas now his Let's Play content is so over the top and so weird and artificial that I don't like it very much. But Nova's Let's Play content is still very real. He's very focused on the game, with the addition of having some really cool edits in there that actually are sometimes really funny, where they focus on his face and it's not overdone too much. I remember PewDiePie had this with Polaris, this series, I forgot what it was, like PewDiePie and Co. or something, where he would play with other YouTubers. Terrible show. The edits were just awful and all over the place and constant. It would give me headaches. So yeah. Then there's a question in French. So I don't know. Oh God. So okay. So I didn't answer the question yet. So what's my favorite series on my channel? So because I liked unedited ones, one that I can really recommend is my first Dark Souls Let's Play. I have 2 Dark Souls Let's Plays on my series, and the very first one where I played blind is amazing, I think. It's very long. It's like 200 episodes. It's the longest Let's Play series on my channel. But God, is it insane, where I've never had experience with a Dark Souls game before, and how that game breaks me, and to the point where I need literally a 2-week break from a certain boss is insane. And it's just, everything changed to the point where, and I said this in the top 10 of last year as well, where though I do love Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3 a whole lot, I can never love it as much as I did the first one, where Dark Souls 1 surprised me so much on the rudimentary, like the rules of how games work, that it will never give me that same feeling. If Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3 or the next game they make, do something really weird or impossible, like they add a new creature, or, you need to fight, another player in order to progress, it will not be as surprising to me, because it's like, oh yeah, it's Dark Souls, they do weird shit like this. Other than that, I would definitely recommend on my Let's Play channel now the Let's Play of The Forest. The Forest is amazing. We completed the game, so also in case you're afraid that it's going to be one of those Let's Play series that I don't complete, don't worry. We've already completed it. It's not complete on the channel yet. I think on the channel it's not like episode 15 or 16. And what started out as us holding out on camp on the beach and trying to survive from the cannibals turns out into this epic quest where we go spelunking and into the caves, and are just so surprised by all the horrifying creatures and discoveries that we make, to the point where the ending is just, mind-boggling, and very, very, very good series in my opinion. Then we have Ogre Johnson. On your Napoleon Total War Great War mod video, how did you get the flag icons to disappear along with the arrow? There are buttons. I believe it's like F2, F3, F4, something F, that will make some of the HUD things disappear. The clan banker, communism or fascism. Okay. Okay, hold on. There's more. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm being quiet, but this is a weird question. Stephen Van Suyden asks, what is your address? I'm not gonna say that. But the one that really silenced me is, when are you not home? What kind of question is that? I'm not home when I'm not home. How do you pronounce your name? Says Socom Coyote. Konoa. And I believe somebody else actually asked me how I got my name, so I will talk about that then. Then Devran Hassan says, which clone trooper legion battalion is your favorite? And then he lists a whole lot. I'm going to be very honest. I don't know. And I also don't really care a whole lot about clones. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of fans out there. I just don't really care. I guess the 501st. They're kind of cool with their blue stuff and things. I like I don't know what number there is, but like the Coruscant thing with the red on their armor. They're also pretty cool looking. Jalen Betty says, what game is your Star Wars Factions? It's Men of War Assault Squad 2. And do you have a PS4? No, I would love to buy one for Uncharted, but I'm going to wait until The Last of Us 2. Only football asks, what series do you enjoy doing most? What series do I enjoy doing most? Well, cinematics are very satisfying in the appreciation that I get from you guys. So that's very good. But it's sometimes very annoying, you know, how it's like when I get, you know, home late and then I still need to do some editing or some recording. It's like, you know, it's much easier to do Let's Plays then. So if it goes like, what series do I enjoy most in terms of Let's Plays? That's difficult. I love horror ones if they're good. I just story-based games. Story-based games I love the most. I'm not very competitive. I don't like games where it's just multiplayer and you play against other people. I don't like that. I need a story. That's most important for me with games. Oh wait, okay. Now Stephen Simon is back with some good question, I think. Jedi or Sith? That's a good question. Jedi. Clone Troopers or Stormtroopers? Stormtroopers. Empire or Rebellion? Ooh. Empire. Which might sound weird because I said Jedi earlier, but I don't necessarily like all the Sith with their like red skin and horns and shit. But the Empire, again, I love armies that are dressed as one, that feel like one big force. And then prequel era, or original era, or the Force Awakens era. Ooh, I do have to say that I do like the art style of the prequel era a lot. I do love Naboo and Theed and just the whole look of it. Some people find it too CG. I don't. I love it. Tyler Blount, are you still doing Star Wars Factions? Of course. Cole Smith, who is your favorite Star Wars character? Probably Yoda. Or something. Probably Yoda. I have my phone in front of my mouth. Might be a bit of a cliche answer though. Yoda. Who do I love too? I tell you why I actually have something for Plo Koon. Back when how old was I? Jesus. I think I was 11. I had a game called Jedi Power Battles for the PlayStation 1. If you're like 13, 14, you probably don't know what that game is. But God, was that a cool game back in the day. Especially in PlayStation 1 era where graphics weren't very good. It was rare to find a Star Wars game where you actually had a lightsaber. And that game did. And it had co-op too. And it was really cool. It was really difficult. But that actually had as playable characters Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn, Mace Windu, I think a girl. I don't remember if she was a Twi'lek though. And Plo Koon. And Plo Koon had a yellow lightsaber in that game, and I thought he was very cool. And especially because I didn't know a whole lot about him. You know, he was in the background in episode 1. He always stuck out to me as that character from the game. Then Colin James asks, can you maybe base some of your Star Wars factions off the movies? Now, what I think he means by this is make some episodes where I play some movie-based battles. I can tell you that Star Wars factions that will not happen, though. Some of the battles, of course, I kind of base a little bit. Whereas, of course, in episode 3, there's a beach battle in Kashyyyk, and of course, I had a beach battle as well. Of course, my beach battle was a little bit more World War II inspired, but still, I chose the beach for that. But if he's talking about like an actual like battle, like set up the map like in the game and that sort of thing, then sure. But that will be then a different cinematic. Like that will not be Star Wars factions, and I'll probably also have like a notification before in front like this is not Star Wars factions related. Here it is. Here's the question. Lucas Larson is Konoha. Will you stream more this year? I have some good news. So I said earlier that I was going to stream in January, and I know January is almost over, but the first stream that I'm going to do, and I'm going to do a separate video announcing this, is going to happen Thursday, February 2nd. My schedule currently actually allows me a pretty chill day on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I need to go to school at 5:30 in the afternoon. So I have a pretty late day. Now I do have the rule, I cannot do like cinematic series like Star Wars Factions. I cannot work on that in the morning. It's just like I kind of like school needs to be done and then I can do the cinematics. If not, I'm going to get caught up in all the cinematics, all the building, and I have to go to school and I'm not satisfied with the thing, so I'll continue working on it and skip school, and I don't want that. However, doing Let's Plays is not a problem, especially if I wake up a little bit earlier. And from my like 10 a.m. to like 1 p.m. or something, which is in the evening in America, I can play some stuff. And then after that, I still have time to eat lunch, to go to the gym, or if I'm still tired from like a long day's work or something, I can still take a nap for like 2.5 hours and then go to school. Regarding streaming games, I will do multiple games. Like I said, I'm trying to then stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting next Thursday. This coming Tuesday, I have something, so I can't. But from February, I'm going to try and do Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's good to have some regularity in that. However, what I was thinking of doing for one of the games, and I don't want this to be the only game that I'm streaming because that's going to be boring. But people, of course, have been asking for Star Wars Conquest. And Star Wars Conquest has been released for Mount & Blade Warband. And I was thinking of streaming that game, and then while streaming it, that you guys get to decide where I go. I've done this before with one of the series where you guys would leave comments. But of course I had to wait for comments, and now I can immediately interact with you. So how I see it is I go to a place first, and I walk around, I talk to characters, and then people can already decide the next location that we're going. And then while of course we go there, we run into different characters, we run into different battles, so things will happen, so people still have time to leave where they want me to go, and that way we can kind of create our own adventure. Johnny Johnson, how much time does an episode of Star Wars Factions take? Several days. Especially since people wanted longer episodes. I used to always do episodes that were 5 minutes. Now I do 10 minutes. They take a very long time. If it was 5 minutes, I could probably do an episode in 2 days. Maybe 3. If I had to make the battle all the way from scratch, and it's a really big battle. This is 10 minutes. Think, 6 days to a week. It has to be several battles, several all made. Then it needs to be filmed. I remember for episode 13, was it 13? I think it was 13. I had 253 different shots that I took that I needed to go through to see which ones I could use and which ones I could not. It was insane. And it just takes a lot of time. And again, the end result is great, and I do it with love, but it is very tiring. and again, I also do love to make the other cinematics. So you know, it's what I love. I love to do cinematics. Eliham, do behind the scenes of Star Wars Factions. Yes, I would like to. Again, I think after episode 20. Around that time, it will also be kind of like the 1-year anniversary for Star Wars Factions, so that's great. Clorix Bleach, if you had 3 wishes, what would they be and why? I don't know. That's a good question. It would be tits, donuts, and puppies. Captain Crunch, when did you start YouTube? In 2011, but like I said, I had other channels before that. I started all the way back in 2006. And oh yeah, he also asked, and do you consider YouTube as your job? Nope. I'm not big enough. That's the thing. I have 50,000 now, and of course I'm closer to the 100,000 than that. But I think properly to make YouTube your job, you have to have around 150,000-ish subscribers. Kind of say maybe even 100,000 if you have a really active community. But no, I don't consider it my job. I have a job beside this, and I go to school. So no, I don't. Especially, for example, in January, where the payment is pretty bad. I mean, in December and November, you know, ads are really high. So then I got quite a bit of money. But it would not be with January. It would not be enough to live off throughout the year. Let's see, where are we now? So many questions. Caleb Craig, how long do you think Star Wars Factions 20 will come out? Well, a pretty long time, because episode 19 is not out yet. Team USA, what is the most awkward situation you have ever been in? Oh, it's very easy. When I was 17, I visited Japan on vacation, and I stayed in a hostel, and we went out drinking, and the group kind of like separated in smaller groups, you know, throughout the night, and I kept drinking with these Japanese guys that I met. And then in the morning, I took the first train home at 5, and I was so drunk that I threw up in the train. And luckily, there was no one. Well, there was one other person in the train who was sitting opposite of me. And when I threw up, all I could hear was footsteps, and he was gone. I was like just the only one in the train. It was. I felt terrible at the time, but looking back at it, it's kind of funny. Tim K, can you please do a tutorial on how to download the Galaxy at War mod on Windows computer? Sorry, but no, there are many tutorial videos out there, so please look at those. Jonathan Curl, what is the most meaningful thing in your life? Creating things, or my creativity. Just the fact that I can actually do that now with a channel where you know, I have a pretty big subscriber base, and I can make cinematics that are actually being watched, is something that I'm very, very grateful for. You know, I could not have probably done machinimas or cinematics from the get-go with, you know, only 0 or something, you know, subscribers, because no one would watch it and would go to waste. But the fact that I can do that now, and hopefully this year with even more games out there, and really let my creativity go its way, I'm very, you know, very grateful, and that means a whole lot to me. Then Clade, what's the best Men of War Assault Squad 2 mod you ever played? Well, again, Star Wars Galaxy of War is maybe a cliche answer, but that one has regular updates, a very cool, huge mod as well. So many different factions, armor, vehicles, characters, that sort of thing. One that I'm looking really forward to is the Lord of the Rings one. That looks insane, and again has the potential to be really cool. Many factions, many units, epic battles. And apparently they made this system where they can actually use swords and it doesn't look weird. The Napoleonic era is something that I'm looking forward to, because I forgot how many factions, but they're planning to add an insane amount of factions, and it's just going to be really, really cool. And they have like the horses and stuff, and they do some really, really cool things with that. The Mass Effect one is also one I'm looking forward to. So there are many, many cool mods out there. Then again, will you make a face reveal? Already done that. Clone Bob 123, is there a Star Wars Factions upload schedule? Nope. You know, they come out when they're done. Sean Steers, can you finish some older Let's Plays? It would help to know which Let's Plays he means, though, but maybe. I mean, I'm trying to change some of the Let's Plays that I did to my Let's Play channel now. You know, we were doing Payday 2. That's going to be on that channel now. Ark is going to be on that channel. So, you know, I don't want to spam people on this channel anymore with Let's Plays. They're going to be still small Let's Plays, like the Battlefront Designated Days one is short and pretty cool. So that will still be here. But other than that, if there's still a series that needs to be finished, it will probably move to the Let's Play channel. Then, Yacht Vlogs. What was the first video game you ever played? That was probably, it was on the NES, and it might have actually been Super Mario. Either that or Duck Hunt. I had that thing with the orange gun. So, yeah. Ultimate Doom Soldier. Can you do an Arma Stalingrad mod? Volga River. No, but I can do that in Man-O-War Cinematic. Heat Gaming. When does the next episode of Thai Riots come out? Well, I already talked about that. Reichswehr. Have you ever been in Europe? Yes, I was born there. I lived there until I was 21. I visited a lot of countries as well. Psychic Toaster, will you drop out of school and quit your job to upload Star Wars Factions every day? Haha. Next question. Juno Uchiha, can you make a video of Star Wars versus Allies? I don't understand this question too much. I guess he means World War II Allies, Star Wars. Maybe. We can do some era stuff. Like from different eras. I've done that with Epic Arma before as well, where I had like World War I planes against like jets. Then Dimitri asks, will the Men of War cinematic ever end? No. If you're talking about Men of War cinematic, like as long as there are mods out there and stuff, they will never end. The game with a bad name. Hey, Kano, have you ever planned on making more Epic Arma? Yeah, but I guess So I guess people want more realistic type of combat scenarios. So we'll see what we can do there. Nathan Popkey, what other games will you make a video about or play? So cinematically, but this is a different question as well. So I'll talk about it then. I'll give one game now. One of the games that I want to do cinematics with is Ark. Ark is a very cool function about Ark is that if you use the direct talk button, your character's mouth actually moves, and it's pretty easy to have a camera go on, and you can even do things like depth of field, change the focus. The only bad thing about it is, again, it's with multiplayer. It's that if I wanted to make good content, I will need actors, and I already talked to Raz and Spiral and Ryan, and they're going to help me make cinematics for that as well. But again, because that requires a team of 4 people, you can definitely expect that to be very far in between in terms of episodes. I wrote out a proper script, as the police fucking comes by to arrest me. I wrote a proper script for the first 2 episodes. They're about, I believe, 4 minutes or 5 minutes each. They're also definitely not going to be longer than that. And they're kind of like skits. They're very, very cool, very funny, in my opinion. And it's my first kind of try to where I do voice acting within it. So they will help me act as body actors. And then I will, again, because I'm doing like a film school thing, we have good equipment for voice recording, and I need to find some good voice actors, and they will then voicing the characters. About the other game, I will talk with the other question. So let's see. Then again, set 5, when we do face reveal, already did that. Then Bleach Boy, what happened to X3 Albion? Also answered that. I think we're getting close to the end. Super Shadow, list your favorite Star Wars game. Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2. Love that game. I want a new one. I want a new game, especially with nowadays technology. I want a new Star Wars space flying game. That'd be cool. Church 313. What country do you live in? Japan. And then Friendly Beast, what was your first game ever? I said that before. NES, Super Mario or Duck Hunt. Cole Smith, do you support Trump? Nope. Line 24, have you ever thought about doing... have you ever thought about doing Men of War videos about soldiers who won their nation's highest reward or award? So I finally, this week, watched for the very first time Hacksaw Ridge. You might be wondering why so late. Because people requested a Hacksaw Ridge cinematic, but because I live in Japan, and still Japan for some weird reason is still a little bit sensitive about World War II. Hacksaw Ridge did not come out in Japan. I could not watch it, and there was a very, very shitty version online that I did not want to see because I heard that the movie was great and I wanted to see it in good quality. So I had to wait, and now it's available in good quality, and I watched it, and I was very, very pleased with it. It was very cool. If I had one thing to say, some of the gore was very clearly made with CG, whereas things like Band of Brothers, Saving Private Ryan is practical effects, and I like that more. But of course, because it was Mel Gibson that made it, and Mel Gibson, because of like his racist stuff, what he said, he could not get a big budget for it. I mean, the budget for that movie is only $40 million, which is not a whole lot. But for the budget that they had, it was great. And of course, it was an amazing story. So it would be cool to actually do some more focused stuff on focusing on one character. The problem though with that, of course, is that all the soldiers look alike, right? So I did the Warsaw Uprising video, and I talked a little bit about one character there. I made up the character, but I actually do like what I like about some Manowar cinematics that I do is I like to do a battle that actually happened, but then focus on the character and storyline that I made up. So, a made up story within an actual authentic battle. That's something that I like. That's something that, for example, Metal Gear Solid does as well, where it uses actual authentic events in history, but gives it its own fictional twist to it. But anyway, so how I separated that one character in the Warsaw Uprising mod was I gave him an American BAR to where you can actually recognize him as by his weapon. So I might actually do something like that. If I would ever, but see, that's the thing. Like, if I would do a Hacksaw Ridge type of thing and I focus on one character, he would be like the only medic or something. I don't know. Some guy says, have you ever? That's actually his name. Have you ever considered doing cinematics on different games such as Homeworld or Homeworld 2? Well, if you paid close attention to the Star Wars factions, there are actually some Homeworld 2 cinematics in there. ODST Private L Griffin asks, "Hi Kanoa, I was wondering why did you start focusing on Manowar cinematically? P.S. Your videos or Star Wars videos are awesome. Thank you." So, why did I start focusing? It was interesting because at first I started doing Man of Mayhem, which did okay, but was not the huge success I was hoping it would be. And it was mostly a Epic Arma inspired, where I had a lot of characters fight each other in different situations, but it was very dry. It was very simple. It was, we have mortars here, let's battle it out. And there are people who do videos like that. I mean, again, even with Epic Arma, where you have Fallout 4, it's like, we have 500 mutants versus 500 ghouls. Everybody does videos like this. It's really not that original, but it was very dry. And then I don't remember when. I think the little twist I gave with Man of War is that I tried to play as one of the characters, and so in the editor you can go first person. I just tried to zoom in, and one of the people commented, if you press Control Alt and A, I actually forgot the combination. I literally use it always. It's automatically in my system, but the HUD will disappear. And that, of course, looked very cinematically. And I knew that, that was the way that some people would get their thumbnails, is they would zoom in and then take a picture. And when I saw that, I thought, well, I can then use that to make videos. So that's how I've got to focus on that. And especially because there were so many mods available, it is a great source for videos. Joel Richardson, can we see Droid Army fight against the Empire in your Star Wars animation? Well, if you also paid attention, the next video will be on Naboo, between the Empire and the Separatists. So that's going to be a very, very cool episode if you want to see some droids versus Stormtrooper action. Cubic Sir, how many episodes do you plan on putting into Star Wars factions? How long does it make to make each episode? As I said before, about a week. And how many episodes do you plan on putting into Star Wars Factions? Also, because I say a week, so it's like, okay, why are there multiple weeks between one episode? Obviously, there are other videos that I make in between that. I do like to go to different eras, to different mods, to kind of keep that creativity, going. So how many episodes do I plan? A lot. Again, also as long as like the dev mod will keep updating, it will go on for a very long time. NBG Mass, how do you record and edit? I use Fraps or Deadgear, and edit with Premiere. Robert Mihai, what's your name? My real name is Max. Battlefield player, why so with your Why so you with the Star Wars vids, clone and stormtroopers with every kind of skin in every fight? Why not make battalions from them? I just don't like having like clones and stormtroopers literally all look the same. That's very boring to me, and I like to have a little bit more of a chaotic feeling with different troops in there. I mean, Return of the Jedi had that too, where there were scout troopers and stormtroopers and some like engineers or officers fighting, and I think that looks better than literally every character looking the same, like the very first Rome Total War. I think that's kind of boring. Josh Raymond, so what is it like living in Japan as a non-Japanese person? I've heard that sometimes they use foreigners as a novelty due to Japan having a tough stance on immigration. It's pretty good. So you actually get some advantages as a foreigner, especially as a white foreigner. Girls-wise, it's very easy to get a girl here if you're white. A lot easier than back in Europe. I've dated quite a lot of girls. And then in between, when just going to a club or to a bar where you just meet a girl for maybe one night or a bit more, it's also very easy. So that's kind of cool. But other than that, it's also good that people are very nice here. It's very safe here. I would say that a negative thing would be that you're always a foreigner, and I don't necessarily mind that because of course I am a visitor to this country. But I did realize that if I was born here and I had a Japanese education and I was raised pretty much Japanese, even though I was white, people would still people are sometimes intimidated to speak English. Like when I go to a store, sometimes the store clerk are a bit scared that I don't know Japanese. So they come scuffle in, they're not too sure what to do. And then when I start speaking Japanese, then they're kind of they let their guard down, okay, this guy can speak Japanese, I can speak well with them. Because of course for Japanese, it's something embarrassing is pretty heavy stuff for them. So they don't want to be embarrassed very easily. So there's that. Other than that, working is also pretty easy. I mean, I do some acting, I do some modeling. Again, if you're a Westerner, they have this Western complex. If you're white, blonde, blue-eyed, you're set. In that way, Japan is kind of racist. But you can use it to your advantage if that's there. I do have to say though, I don't know if I want to stay here forever. I'm kind of happy that I love Japan. I love its country. I love the culture, the food, its people, but I don't consider myself a weeboo. Again, there are also many aspects of Japan that are not good. There's a lot of sexism out there. Women still get paid less than men. They get also less education. There are women-only schools and universities, and what they just get is not as important, or just less intense education. Again, racist. When I came here first to find a apartment, there are literally I don't know, agencies like I don't know how to name it in English, but the agencies that find you an apartment that do not serve foreigners. It's not necessarily a racist thing to where some of them just don't speak English, but I don't think that should be a thing where it's oh, I don't want to deal with foreigners. I think that is a wrong attitude. But I've very rarely had a bad experience in Japan. Some of my friends had experiences where Japanese said to them like, go home to your country. One girl even apparently like got spit on by another guy, and I've never had that. So that's very good. Overall, like I said, overall they're very nice. But it's a big country. You have kind of weird people everywhere. So that's the thing. So I love Japan. I don't know if I want to stay here for the rest of my life. I was thinking actually maybe I'm 26 now. Kind of like like I said, party it up, live life, explore a little bit while in my 20s, and then in my 30s find a different country and kind of settle down there. It's also especially because I don't want to be like in my 30s or 40s and still have to deal with all that kawaii and AKB and baby metal and which is blech. It's just I want to just shoot them if I see things like that. Alright, let's see. Spartacus, of course, long time partner, says, have you ever seen a TV show Doctor Who? I dated a girl back in Holland who was a big fan, and we watched like 2 episodes, and all I wanted to do was make out. She wanted to watch a video, and so like she didn't want to make out until we watched like the one show or something, so I had to sit through it, but then we finally, like, as a reward, I got what I wanted. And I don't know, it's too cheap for me, though I do really love the episode where they have the Weeping Angels. I think the Weeping Angels is amazing as a concept, and it like any one person should see what they do with the Weeping Angels. It's great. Are you a collector of anything? Yes, I collect Kit Kats. If you don't know, they have many different flavors of Kit Kats here in Japan. It's really weird because Nestle is a European company, I believe, and they have all these exclusive flavors here in Japan, like strawberry, green tea, apple, cheesecake, raspberry, orange, sake, sweet potato, and many, many more. And I have actually quite a lot of those. And some of them are already like over their dates, but I don't know. I just keep them in the bag. So they're just for looking. Will you ever get an Xbox One to make a playthrough of the Halo? Probably not, but the good thing is with the Windows Play Anywhere, I should be able to play the next Halo that they bring out on PC, like I did with Gears of War. So if they already had the Master Chief Collection, so I don't assume that they will bring out that anytime soon again. But if they would ever make something like that, or offer the other Halo games on the Play Anywhere platform, then I could do that. Nicholas Devine, do you use mods? I don't know for what. Let's see. King Murpeder, how many episodes do you plan to do Star Wars Factions? Many, many more. And if I were to make a game, would you try it out? Sure. And last but not least, is either of the Ark Survival series dead? No. So, oh my god, it broke my heart to kind of stop that series on this channel, because our Ark Survival series was literally at the point where it became really cool, where we had high level gear and we would actually go like on Lava Island and fight all these like Tyrannosaurus and Allosaurus and that sort of thing. And there are like episodes where we go into the caves and we fight all these bugs and we go into the snow, and that never got aired. And I have all those episodes on my computer. So what I will do with that is I will re-upload that series on my Let's Play channel. And instead of doing like 1 or 2 episodes per day, I will do it in chunks of 10 episodes per day, just to kind of steamroll through it and deal with that. We're actually going to start a Ark series, survival series again pretty soon, where we're going to, because we focused on a different thing every time, right? Last time it was the center, then it was the desert, and now we're going to regular island again, and we're going to focus on the redwood forest, to where we're going to build like a tree house, and we're going to kind of see what we're going to do there. I mean, it's been a while since we played Ark, so like since last we played, they added about like, I don't know, 17 new dinosaurs, new armor and that sort of thing. So we're gonna see what we do that. The Pokemon thing we might do as well, but you cannot catch them right now, so literally it's not that interesting. You can walk around and like look at them, but not a whole lot more is there. But if you do like the Ark or the Survival series, please check out The Forest on the Let's Play channel. It's really, really cool what we're doing there. Samuel Gillespie. World War II question. Do you personally believe that the atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki were justified by any of the Japan's atrocities committed to the war? I've been to both. I've been to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. My girlfriend is actually from Hiroshima. Justified. I don't know. Listen, when one would objectively ask me if bombing of civilian cities is okay, my answer is absolutely not. It happens all the time in any war. Like it's what comes with war. I don't think it's good. It's okay. I know it will not disappear, but I don't think it's good. I don't think like civilians have nothing to do with it. And of course, it's complicated because some of the enemy, has some of their bases or outposts in civilian areas, sometimes hidden as civilian buildings. Intel is not right, and then you blow up civilians. So I don't know. I mean, it happens, and it will not disappear. But I don't think it should work. I mean, it's that thing where people say like, well, they started it. They bombed our city, so it's okay to bomb their cities as well. And I don't think one should think that way. Of course, it's very easy to say that because, like, let's say that somebody would do something very nasty to my parents. I would want to rip their throats out and whatever. But objectively, I would say like, you should not answer violence with violence. Violence is great for video games or movies, to kind of let off steam. But my favorite quote from ever is from Martin Luther King, where it's like, darkness will not root out darkness, meaning that, violence should not be the answer for violence. One of the groups or one particular faction should be the bigger man and say, okay, listen, like, I'm not gonna like fight back with violence. I'm gonna protest. Well, like protest peacefully is also that will not really do anything. But objectively, violence should not be the answer. I know it's not as simple or as Disneyland as that, but it sucks that it happens. I mean, sure, there's that thing where, like, if they didn't do it, a lot more people could have died. That's also true. But, it's, I don't know. It happened. So, I'm not gonna say, I'm not one of those people that says, oh my god, America is so bad for doing it. No, don't worry. I'm not like that. Like, they did it. It's fine. It's history, Let's leave it at that. I actually, back when I was in Holland, I knew a girl who was like that, who was all like, oh yeah, like the Americans are so like evil for throwing the bombs and that sort of thing. It's like, well, it's not that easy. Like it's a more gray area than that. You have to think about what's happening there. And then you're going to compare apples with pears, right? Where it's like, what about Pearl Harbor? And it's like, well, Pearl Harbor were only, a few thousand people or something. That's tens of thousands of people. It's like, dude, it's like what the fuck? Like, just stop, like, comparing all these things that are not the same. Let's see. Steven again asks, are you playing any other games for fun besides the one shown on your YouTube channel? Usually I play like simulator games, city building games for fun when I need to unwind. Sometimes Ark on my own while listening to podcasts. Sad5 says, what tips would you give other YouTubers or people that are starting YouTube? Make unique content. It's very difficult to do Let's Plays in today's environment. So do a little twist on it. Do a little bit of a tutorial or focus on something specific to where it will actually reward people for watching your content. That's what I did with Battlefront reviews, where I was not the first one that did Battlefront reviews, but I was pretty much the first one that did Battlefront reviews with voice reviews, with voice acting. Nathan Popkey, what made you want to become a YouTuber? Again, I like creating things. I like creating videos. I think it's very cool. Skinny ODST, have you ever thought about creating your own mods for Battlefront 2? Nope. I don't know how. And congrats on a 50k. You certainly deserve it. Thank you very much. Let's see, CV Master Blaster. Hi Max. Konoha, been with you for a long time. Congrats on reaching 50k. Thank you very much. It's great to see the support for you have grown. Just thought I'd ask, what is it like living in Japan? As a student, what made you decide to study in Japan, etc.? So again, living in Japan is fun. It is great. I want to explore so much, and I also really do take the opportunity for granted to where I go explore outside of Tokyo. Some of my friends have been living in Japan for 4 years, and sometimes I even wonder why they're here because they've never left Tokyo, or they're only interested in like anime or that sort of thing, and go to like Akihabara and that sort of thing. I don't know. You know, once a year, and this is going to be in April/May of this year, I'm going to go to Akita, which is in the north, for about like 10 or so days and really explore the countryside. And of course, it's probably because I know Japanese. Many of my friends actually don't know Japanese, so if you go to the countryside, you really need to know Japanese because no one knows English there, and none of the signs have English on them. But it's really good to really get a taste of the actual Japanese. Like, when people think about Japan in the West, 99% of the time, it's about Tokyo. When you hear, oh, Japanese are so crazy, or they have like such weird like fetish things or something, it's always Tokyo. The image that you see is always Tokyo. And it's not that weird because, you know, about like, I don't know, 30 million something live in Tokyo and around the prefectures. Or surrounding prefectures, that is 25% of the country's people. I mean, think about it. If 25% of your country would live in the capital, that's where a lot of focus goes to. But it's just the case that there are a lot of beautiful places out there in the wild, and there you will really feel foreign. Like, you will go there and you will, in those 10 days, you will not see any other foreigners. And it's kind of cool in a way because you really feel, you know, that you were in a different area. So I like that. But again, as I said, though I do love to live here, I would say it's not to the point where I would love to live here for the rest of my life. But I don't know yet what I'm gonna do with or not. Maybe for the same thing, I might actually marry here and be happy and live for the rest of my life. I don't know. Josh, sorry, can you please do Star Wars Clone Wars mod for Mono Blade? Yes, on stream. Talked about that before. Skimmy, what's your name? Max. My name. M-Rated does not have a question, but he is a long-time subscriber, so thank you for your support. Then 2091 River as AI is real. Oh, Rivera is real. Is Haikono, I was just wondering, for the sake of curiosity, I got Man of War, and how are you able to record? Again, in the editor. You need to open the editor and then make battles and play them out, and like you can do stuff. Intelligent owl. Owls or dogs? Owls on dogs. That's my answer. King Pat, please do a series on Star Wars Empire at War or Republic at War. I could do that, sure. I'll do a Let's Play of that though, because I've tried to stream that once, and for some reason, and literally it's the only game I've ever had that with, the OBS does not recognize Star Wars Empire at War. It's really weird. Richard77, will you ever watch the movie Chef? Sure. Then another question, Daniel Cipron, please can you play Empire at War? Sure. Nick Del Real, will you ever play Star Wars Conquest again? Yep, stream. Black Wolf, what's your favorite series that you've done? Did I answer this already? Was it by the same guy? Maybe it was a different guy. So, yeah, Dark Souls and The Forest currently going on. It's also very cool. Alexis411, Dallas, until when will you upload Star Wars Factions? Do you have the story already done? Not for every episode, but again, like I said, I have big plot lines that I've already decided, okay, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and that's going to be very, very cool. The Eggmaster, what country are you from? Holland. And then Mighty Mapper123, who is actually the map creator of some of the maps I've used in Star Wars Factions, is I'm thinking of doing something similar. Blah, blah, blah. Can I add you on Steam for some tips? And maybe I could share some of my maps. Sure, that will be no problem. My Steam name is just Konoa without a zero, so it's Konoa. Same picture of the cat, which is a Samurai Pizza Cat, if you're wondering. And then, here we go. 2 final questions. Intelligent Owl, again, will you ever do a face reveal? Already done that. And then The final, last but not least, it's my buddy Fro, who has been with me for a very long time. Says, hey, congrats whenever you hit 50k. Has this channel grown since 2-3 years ago? It's been a long ride. It definitely has. And on to the 100k. Yep, again, as I'm very happy to, like, the realization that I'm closer to 100k now than 0 is something that just really makes me smile. Alright, he has multiple questions, so let's end this video by going through them. So, 1, how are you and your girlfriend doing? We are doing very great, actually. She was with me today. She actually left like an hour ago, and so then I went home and did the video. We played some Resident Evil 7 together. Did not record it though, but we played it. It was fun. We actually, on the 12th of February, we will have 6 months. So it is actually not one of the same girls as the previous videos. And no, it's going very great. I'm very tall. I'm 6'2". I don't know how tall my girlfriend is in feet, but I'm 190 centimeters. My girlfriend is 180 centimeters. She's 100% Japanese, but we look very tall together, so that's very, very cool. 2, what is your plan for this channel in the future? So again, I want to focus more on the cinematics, with some high quality Let's Play content, high priority, I would say, where it's like, oh, there's a Pokemon mod for Ark. Boom. Quick 1 episode video out there. Or the Battlefield Designated Days, where it's like five episodes. Boom, get that out there to fill up, the days in between some of the cinematics. Now, what I would like to do this year, so last year, of course, we did mostly Man of War. We did a little bit of Rome Total War, which is, or the Total War series, which unfortunately was not as popular as I was hoping it would be. But then again, Total War Cinematic might not be kind of cool. I've thought of changing the name to where it's first Cinematic and then like Total War or something, where if people see Cinematic every time, they're like, oh, cool, this is a new like cinematic video from Konoha. What would it be? But I have multiple games. I want to do new games this year. I don't want to be drowned in too many different games at once, but these are the games that I've been thinking about doing series this year, or new new cinematics this year. I talked about Ark before because it has the ability to actually do voice acting where the characters move their mouths. Very, very cool. Also very easy to do, but again, the bad thing about it is that I have to actually have actors help me, and they need to be available. 2, Battlefield 1, which I don't know if that's out yet, but they actually had a pretty cool cinematic tools trailer once. But again, the difficulty there is I would need actors, and also story-wise, I would not be able to do a whole lot there. So that probably will not happen for a while. Star Citizen. Star Citizen has now new camera angles that are very, very cool, and you can actually still see your own character, and I also kind of made a script for that, so I would definitely want to make some skits and some videos regarding Star Citizen, but again, because there's so little content at the moment, there's not a whole lot I can do. One of the skits I actually had planned was about the fact that there's not a whole lot of content out there. It's actually pretty funny. Like I said, I still will need actors there, but because you can see my character within the frame, I would only need like 1 or 2 actors, so that's not too bad. So like Spiral will probably help me with that. And then lastly, the one series that I was thinking about is GTA, because of course GTA has such amazing camera angles. And actually, back when the heists were there, I played with Cody, and we did one heist. We never actually got further than one heist, and how I did it was I recorded with the in-game like camera thing while we were battling, and so our regular travels in the car or walking would be regular third person, but during the battles it would sometimes shift to like cinematic angles, so that was kind of interesting. So it was a Let's Play and cinematic hybrid, and I was thinking about that as well for some new stuff. Let's see, best mods for any game in your opinion. Ooh, I love the cinematic mod for Half-Life 2. I love it. Ooh, I'm gonna go get on that again. Other than that, there has to be some. Let's see, which ones are really, really good. Mount and Blade Star Wars Conquest is amazing. Especially also because that was the first mod where I was like, oh my god, you can have all these eras and factions in Star Wars, you know. To a lot of people, maybe Star Wars Galaxy at War would blow them away, but again, for me, it was Star Wars Conquest because that was the first one out there. Other than that, what mods? I think like the first mods that I ever played were for Battlefield 1942, so you know that was very cool. Um, Best mods for any game. Tough question. Good question though. Trying to think. Some of the mods that I use are just really small mods, like Lieutenant Spears mod for Call of Duty 2, which adds more characters, more AI characters, which I love. Graphics mod. Again, I'm a huge graphics mod fan, so that's why I love cinematic. Yeah, you know what? I'll give you that. Cinematic mod for Half-Life 2 is my favorite because the amount of new things, like it's like a remake almost. The amount of new textures and new high-res detail that they added is amazing. And I played through Half-Life. Half-Life 2 is probably literally the game that I played through the most. I've completed that game probably 7 or 8 times. I love that game. That game is also in my top 10 favorite games of all time. I was actually thinking about doing, I was debating whether I should do a Q&A for a 50k special or do a top 10 favorite video games of all time, which I might do sometime else. For what games are you looking forward to this year? Okay, so let's see what we got this year. So Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm a big Mass Effect fan, though I did not like Mass Effect 3 all that much. There's the ending, but I also felt that it was very small in scale, where it was like, oh, it was like the big battle to end it all. I thought that the intro was very cool, but I started to realize like, oh, it's going to drop in scale very soon, and I don't have this big epic galactic warfare feeling, especially even with the end battle where it was that cool cutscene where all the factions would fight with each other. It only lasted for like 2 minutes, and then you arrived in London, and it was actually not that epic, and that whole ending, it was just kind of a letdown. I'm curious what they're gonna do with this one, especially with saying that this is their biggest Mass Effect game ever. I'm a big fan of the first Mass Effect, which again, gameplay-wise, is indeed inferior to the other ones, but I really like that one. Other than that, Outlast 2. Ooh, I want to play Outlast 2 so badly. I love Outlast. It's my jam. That game. Again, it's horror, so I assume not a lot of people will watch it. Other than that, some survival games. I guess maybe Escape from Tarkov. I don't know. What I've seen also, it's a little bit like monotonous. Other than that, what is coming out this year? Battlefront. Well, again, then it was just speculation because of course we haven't seen anything of it yet. But a new Battlefront will come out with a single player campaign. Hopefully, it will be cool. Other than that, what other games? What other games are soon? New survival games also, like Conan Exiles. People have been asking for new survival games to do with me and Spiral and Raz. I know because we're kind of like the survival crew, and so we were thinking of other stuff. And Conan Exiles kind of looked interesting. Red Dead Redemption 2 also, especially because I've never played the original, because it was not out on PC. So you know that's something I would like to get my hands on. And let's see what else is coming out. Oh, South Park. Yeah, the South Park Fractured Battle. That's what I look forward to as well. Ooh, it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, those type of games. There are probably a lot of games that I now forget that I actually am really looking forward to as well. But you know, I will play it when it will come out. Question 5: will you ever do a podcast type with Raz or Spiral? Maybe, I don't know. So I would love to do podcasts. I'm very talkative. I love to talk about video games or video game news with people. And you might even remember that back in the day I used to do a sort of podcast with Cody. I call it, what do I call it? Coco Po. But that was not a success because, and it's not his fault, but he's not very enthusiastic. Not at school. Like, he dropped out of school. He's just not very motivated, and that also really showed with the podcast, to where I noticed he was doing other stuff while we were talking about video games. He was not that, if it was not a topic, or it was not a topic that he was not interested in, he probably would surf, you know, on the internet doing other stuff. And that's kind of the thing with podcasts, right? You have different subjects, and even if it's not something you really are interested in, you can still listen to the other person and, give some personal inbring to it. It was, I would say, 85% me talking and not him, and I didn't really like that. I tried to ask him questions, and when I noticed that he wasn't really paying attention, it was kind of annoying. And so I don't think a proper podcast will happen. But what we have been talking about is all of us have been really excited to start playing Civilization. All of us have Civilization 5, so chances are high that it's going to be Civilization 5. And we might do it on stream, but we also want to do like a Let's Play series where it's going to be kind of longer episodes, like 30 minutes. And because, of course, it's not very exciting to watch Civilization, kind of have that more as a podcast, to where people will play a video game and have us talking on the background. After Civilization, we also want to do things like Crusader Kings 2, Hearts of Iron, Europa Universalis, things like that, which are very cool and very in-depth, but I would say even less entertaining to watch, unless something kind of like exciting happens where you declare war, there's some big battle, you lose. But other than that, it's just a world map that you're looking at. So again, use that as an opportunity to kind of just have a relaxed atmosphere, talk about things that are not necessarily have to do with the game, and have that sort of like as a podcast. We've talked about that many times before, because we can definitely do it. We had that going on with the Old Republic Let's Play that we did, but of course the Old Republic is very story based, and that's not the perfect method for doing a podcast. 6. For your Let's Play channel, do you prefer playing by yourself or with others? It depends. So, again, I like story-based Let's Plays. Story-based games. So, if a game has co-op in a story environment or story-based environment, then it's completely fine with me, and I love playing with others. Again, I'm not a big fan of competitive play to where... that's why Overwatch would not be my thing. Like, the game looks amazing, and all the cinematics and characters are cool, but where it's just that, it's just not that exciting for me. And, I don't know, like Splinter Cell, where it's actually a story and you actually co-op with each other, that's much more my thing. And, regarding that, I don't really mind. I'm playing Gears of War 4 now by myself. I was supposed to actually do it with other people, but they could not get their Windows 10 update, or they refused to download it. So I would prefer to do that one with somebody else, because it kind of gives you somebody to talk to or to react to things that are happening, instead of me talking here, single to a mic to like you guys. But you guys aren't actually here, it's not live. So in a way, I guess I would prefer to play with somebody else if it is a co-op game. 7. Will we ever see another Total War cinematic? Yes, I definitely want to. Again, it wasn't as popular as I was hoping it would be. Kind of to keep me going, I'm going to do drastically different videos every time. I was planning to do another one in Rome Total War with Egypt, but their regular units for Egypt look terrible. I don't know what they did there, but they look really, really, generic. I know there are mods that make them look better, so I should definitely look into that. But Jesus, I was looking at that, I was like, I lost all my motivation. But what I was thinking of is making a video in Napoleon Total War or Empire Total War and make a ship cinematic. I thought that would be kind of cool and original. 8. If you could remaster 5 games, what would they be and why? Let's see, remaster. Final Fantasy 9, because that's my favorite Final Fantasy, and purely because it was my first. A lot of people say Final Fantasy 7 is their favorite, but I think, again, because it's, for most people, their first Final Fantasy, that's why it's so cool. For me, it was 9, so that's my favorite. I would love to have that game remastered with beautiful, beautiful graphics. I actually played something not too long ago where I was like, oh my god, I would love to see a remake of this. I forgot what it was, though. I guess maybe even Rogue Squadron 2, where I was like, I would like to have a space combat Star Wars game with the technology of today. Probably some dinosaur game. What dinosaur games are out there? Trying to think of like the Nintendo 64 era. Conker's, well, there was already a remake of Conker's Bad Fur Day for the Xbox. Pum, 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 pum. What did I have really good memories of on like the Nintendo 64? Maybe even later, like Xbox. It's a good question. I wanna name at least one more game that I really want a remake of. Maybe Donkey Kong 64? That game I really loved. A lot of fun with that. Doesn't seem like a great... Mystical Ninja starring Goemon? Something that I like, but I think the graphics or the cartoony style that they had actually really worked with that. What is he remake? Oh, yes, I know. Vampire Bloodlines: The Masquerade. Ooh, I want a remake of that with next generation graphics, more content to explore, some new quests, some new characters. I love that game. I did a Let's Play of it, of course, I think 2 years ago or something. And I love that game. It's not without its bugs or glitches, but I think a remake would really, really be solid for it. So yeah, that's my answer. And then I believe his final answer or question is, whatever happened to Shy? Did you two fall out or something? Not exactly. So Shy, well, if you've seen some of the videos with Shy, you know he can be kind of a hothead. And so I believe last year, Kyle or Kairu also started playing with us, and he, Shy, and Raz had a separate series. I think it was Hexen, and I don't remember exactly what happened. I believe they recorded. I was not in the series, by the way. This was like their separate thing, which was fine. But because I was not interested in Hexen anyway. But they recorded something, and something got corrupted, so Shy needed to redo a video. So he requested the others to delete their footage, or something like that, and do it again. And Kyle did not want to delete his footage because he already filmed it, though he was okay with playing it again, I said. And that didn't stick well with Shy, and Kyle said, like, just deal with it. And I guess just deal with it really, I don't know, made Shy flip to the point where he, like, sent all these, like, mad emails to Raz, and he blocked Kyle, and to the point where he was just done. And he also blocked B, Spiral, and Raz on Steam. And so we had a talk, and we were like, wow, when he, by just one thing gets this pissed off and blocks all of us, it's very easy. Like, we done, and we don't want to do Let's Plays with somebody like that anyway. So it's fine. And I mean, it's good. Like I said, he can be very manipulative to the point where if you watched my Shogun Total War series with him, he was always like, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this. I decide what I do. It's my, I play this game with you. It's my faction. I can decide what you. And I think that balance is really good with Spiral and me, where we both of us really have our own thing that we do while playing together. I'm not going to go like Spiral, okay, now you should build a school, you should do this. I let him do his own thing. That's kind of what, I like to show people, their kind of own play style. And in other things as well, Shy always said, like, you should do this and you should do that. So in that way, I don't really miss doing content with him. I think the team of me, Spiral, and Raz is the best Let's Play team we've ever had. Videos that we make on Ark, Dungeon Defenders, The Forest. What other games do we do? I think that's great. Of course, with Payday, where Kyle's also there as well, that's also a lot of fun. But those survival games are always just a blast, where the three of us really click well together, and I'm happy that that's the case. So people, that is the final question. I have a dry throat. I need a Coca-Cola. And also, I'm going to, it's very late, I'm going to play some more Resident Evil. And like I said, in about 2 or so days, the next cinematic will be done. And after that, it's back to Star Wars Factions. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all the support throughout the years. And if you just recently found my channel, I hope you're going to stick with me for a while. And I will see you guys next time.